Hey everybody, Pastor Randy here, Palmcroft Church, the Anthem campus up here in Anthem, Arizona. As we approach Easter, the events of Holy Week are starting to intensify. We've looked at the things that have happened on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and today, Thursday, is called Maundy Thursday. And there's several key things that happened on Thursday of Holy Week that I think are worth mentioning. You've got Peter and John that were sent to prepare for the Passover meal that Jesus had with his disciples. He washed their feet at the end of that meal, if you remember. He announced to Judas that he would betray him. He gave this new commandment to love one another. We'll get to that in a moment. He prayed for unity of the believers. He went to the Mount of Olives, and there on the Mount of Olives, you know that there is the Garden of Gethsemane, and that's where he prayed that night. He was betrayed by Judas. He was denied by Peter, and he was taken to the high priest. And so there were a lot of things that happened on that Thursday. But what I'd like to do for the 60 seconds or so is to look at one particular event, and that is the commandment that Jesus gave to the disciples and to us, followers of Christ, to love one another. In fact, in John 14, it says, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another, just as I've loved you, you are also to love one another." And so he says it twice. Actually, there are 59 times recorded in the English Bible that it says to love one another. And so what's the significance of loving one another? What is this mandate? Why do we call Thursday Maundy Thursday? Well, the word Maundy derived from a mandate or a command. And so the great command, the new commandment that Jesus says is to love one another, comes from this day on Thursday, so much so that we call it Maundy Thursday. What's the significance? Well, first of all, is that you can't love God and not love others. 1 John says if you love God and you hate your brother, it says that we're a liar. And so Jesus says, I want you to love your enemies. I want you to love sinners. I want you to love with no strings attached. And if you put strings on your love, that is something attached to it that if I give you, you give me, he says it's not love. I want you to love with no strings attached. Secondly, he says, talk is cheap when it comes to love. 1 John 3 says, little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed or and also in truth. Love has to be active. It has to be a verb. It has to show action. Of what we say and what we do are two different things. There's a third thing that comes from Galatians chapter 5, and it says, if you are called to freedom, brothers, only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for your flesh, that is, for yourself, to make life more comfortable and easy for you. But it says, for the sake of others, love others. And so freedom in Christ is not for our benefit, but freedom in Christ is for the benefit of those in our lives that we love. And lastly, it's not our knowledge that sets us apart as followers of Jesus, but he says it's how we love each other. John 13 says, by this all people will know that you are my disciples, and if you have love for one another. It's not what you know, how many Bible verses you know, how much money you give to the church or give to the poor. None of those things, although those are great things, but it's how you love. Today is Maundy Thursday. It's a new commandment. It's a new mandate. Today, let's go and love others, not by the things that we say, but rather by the things that we do.